introduction. Many of you may not know how we pick the topics for National Wake Up Call, but it really is very timely. Last week, we talked about the Total Solution Challenge Pack because we have the total solution. This week, I wanted it to be about time management, but time management is not very sexy. People don't go, "Oh, yay, I'm going to go to a time management seminar," but it's not about that today. So you have to stick around and listen to how Ali frames her day and is more productive now that she is homeschooling 3 little kids. Ali was definitely at the top of my list for somebody who really knows how to structure her day. She has been a coach for over 5 years, and she is now a superstar diamond coach, which means she has at least 15 diamonds on her team, which has it brought her to a superstar coach rank. She has hit elite 5 times, our top ranking achievement in the company, 5 times. And last year, she was number 20th in the entire network. So she's a 2020 elite coach. She has been hitting Success Club 65 months in a row. She's from Seminole, Florida. Ali Tessitore. Ali, come on in.
Hello. Hi, Sandy.
Hello. I hope you are fired up after that because that's what he's been doing every week.
Oh my goodness. It's like, how do I match that? That's like insane. But it gets me fired up to share more about how to structure your business and have growth in this amazing time right now.
Yeah, so I'm going to step out of the way, let you take it away, and what brought you to Beachbody, and tell a little bit about your story. Because for new people who are on the call, I like it if they listen to how you unfold your story since your start date. So I'll get out of the way. Bye-bye.
Okay, sounds great. So I am a wife and a mom of 3. I'm also a registered nurse, but I no longer work in the hospital as a nurse. I'm also a holistic health coach and nutritionist, and obviously a Beachbody coach. But before coaching, I was a stay-at-home mama. I had stopped working after our 3rd child so that I could be home with them, help raise them. My husband traveled a lot for work, and it was always our intention for me to go back to work after our 3rd child started preschool. But things went a little bit differently than I had planned. I suffered from severe postpartum anxiety and panic attacks. Sorry, this gets me emotional. But it was 6 weeks postpartum after our 3rd child that I came down with debilitating panic attacks and anxiety that took me out. I was a mess. My health, my life, it crumbled before my eyes. I was the frequent flyer in the hospital for different symptoms. I was put on multiple anti-anxiety medications to keep my panic attacks at bay. I would have them every 2 to 3 hours. My husband had to not travel as much so he could be home with me. If he wasn't with me, my mom was with me. I could barely function. It was really hard. And it was during that season of my life when I saw my life flash before my eyes that I had a wake-up call. I had a huge wake-up call that I had to take my life back, or my kids might not have a mom to take care of them. So that's when I started to rehabilitate myself to become the mom, the woman, the wife that I was called to be. I began to work out. I hated working out, but I started to work out just a couple times a week. I would just walk and listen to music. I began to change my nutrition just in small ways, and I began to honor the body, the one body that I was blessed with. I fell in love, head over heels in love with fitness and nutrition because it became medicine to my body. It began to make me become alive again and have joy and to overcome and to eventually get off of anxiety medication. I completed certifications for nutrition and to be a holistic health coach. I was actually in grad school to be a nurse practitioner, and I dropped out of grad school because it wasn't my passion anymore. And I developed this deep, deep desire to share my story because I knew that the mess that I had gone through, I knew that there were so many other people, other women, other mamas that were in the same exact situation, and they felt hopeless. They felt alone. And that's when I wanted to start helping as many women as possible. But there was one thing missing from my journey. I was working out, eating clean. I had lost 40 pounds. I had done all these things, but I felt really lonely. I had my husband, I had my mom, I had a counselor. I didn't have a trainer because I was doing everything from home. And I was missing community. I was missing friendship. I was missing that accountability buddy to keep me on track when days were rough with my 3 kids. And that's when I became determined to create a community, to create a sisterhood for others to feel loved and supported and to feel empowered. So I started a couple things. I started blogging, hit a dead end, wasn't doing much. I started hosting free workouts at my local park, wasn't really helping the people, the amount of people I wanted to help. So that's when online coaching, Beachbody, came into my world. And I had a friend from high school that kept presenting the opportunity to me, kept presenting it. Anyone else been asked multiple times to become a coach? And I was to the point where I'm like, I'm just going to block her. Like, she's asking me way too much. And she kept asking. And it was for a whole year she was asking me. And if I can be honest with you, as a healthcare and fitness professional, I had the stigma. I did not want to be associated with a company. I didn't want to be associated with a company because I felt like I lost credibility in my profession and for what I had built up. But I needed more. I needed another outlet. I needed more community. I needed something for me at home with my 3 kids. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do? So I talked to my husband after a year of thinking about it. And I said, what should I do? And he was like, what do you have to lose, Ali? He's like, you love fitness, you love nutrition, you love helping people. Just give it a try. I'm like, okay. So I signed up to be a coach. And let me preface, I signed up to be a coach, never trying a program, never trying Shakeology. I had no experience in being in a challenge group. I just signed up and I went all in, and I have never looked back since.
Wow. Thank you so much for your honesty there. You did not want to be a coach. And now it's like, I can't imagine you not being a coach.
Yeah, it's changed my life.
And, I've talked to so many teachers and nurses in my years doing this call, and it's like they wish that they could help people before they get to the emergency room, before they get to a point where they need so much help. And it seems like now you're in a position to help people on the front end. And so thank you so much for joining Beachbody. I'm so excited for you. Okay, why don't you talk about why this topic was perfect for you, and go ahead and go through the whole thing so we can, I won't interrupt.
Sounds great. So I was talking to Sandy last week when we went over this, and I said, look, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. When you guys reached out to me a week ago, they reached out to me about this to share on this topic. I had a moment of, I cannot do this. There is no way that in a week I can, go to virtual schooling my 3 kids, to growing my business, helping my clients, helping my team, and then put together a presentation, calm my nerves down, and do this. Like, there was no way. Even right now, all of my kids are on lockdown where they can't stream anything. My husband's helping the kids with fractions. So even that was planning. I had to plan that in advance that I could be on this call. But this is the thing. When I was feeling stressed out, when I was feeling overwhelmed, even doing this call, I had this moment, this thought that it's a choice. It's a choice for me to find time for what is important to me. And this is important to me. I'm 100% committed. I have goosebumps just thinking about it. I'm 100% committed to empowering and mentoring others to improve their health, but to also equip as many people as possible to build amazing businesses from home that can bless their life just like it's blessed mine. This past week, I was listening to Trent Shelton's podcast, and I listened to it again this morning before the National Wake Up Call. And he said this quote, that inconvenience exposes commitment. I'm going to say that again. Inconvenience exposes commitment. Even with my kids home right now and all that is going on in our country, I'm still committed. I'm still committed to this mission. I'm committed to Beachbody's mission. I'm committed to my growth of my clients, my challenge group, my team. And that is something that we all should be asking ourselves. Are we interested, or are we really, really committed to making an impact on the lives of others, even when we're being inconvenienced? When I look back on my business and coaching for the past 5.5 years, what has brought me success is learning how to manage my time and be consistent with taking action daily. That's the key word here, daily action. From being a coach in my first year, I had 3 kids, and now I still have 3 kids, and life has happened. I've had kids home with me. I've had kids in school. My husband has traveled a lot for work. We've dealt with sickness. We've dealt with death. We've had so many different things come up in our life. But at the core of all of it, over the past 5.5 years, I've done these best practices. I've been consistent with these best practices that I'm going to share with you. It allowed us to become an elite team in our first year, and it's continued to allow us to grow our organization, to grow our team, to be an elite team, to hit Success Club consistently, because I've been able to focus on what matters, to focus on the things that help me be productive and efficient in my day, and to be efficient and have growth in the business. And let me just say this, because I know that there's a group of you that say, I'm not organized, I can't be successful. No, it's not about being organized. It's about being consistent with your system. What you do isn't going to look like me. And what your coach does doesn't look like what you're going to do. You have to figure out a routine. You have to figure out a schedule that supports your goals, that supports your family and your lifestyle. And as long as you're consistent with it, that's all that matters. So before I share my best practices with you, there's a couple questions that I ask myself, and they're great questions that you can ask yourself in your business, whether you're a new coach or you're a vet coach like me. 3 questions. First one is, what are your goals? What type of income do you want to earn? What rank do you want to be? If you're a new coach listening right now, success starter. Oh my goodness, that's a huge goal as a new coach. Become a success starter, earn your ticket to summit, get your spot in test group. Those are goals that you want to write down, because with goals comes time expectations. How many new people do I want to help in my challenge group in April? How many new coaches do I want to help in April? Those 3 questions I ask myself at the beginning of every month and every quarter, because it allows me to frame my day, my weeks, and even my months on what my commitment's going to be in my business, so that I can honor my family in the process. It's really important. It's so important that you are clear with your goals and the time commitment is required. If you have a coach that only wants to help, let's say they want to help 3 people a month, and then you have a coach over here that wants to help 20 people a month, there's a different time commitment, and you have to be clear with that, or you have these expectations that are never going to get met. But most importantly, you have to show yourself grace. I show myself grace on the daily. Life is going to happen. Schedules are going to be thrown off. I can tell you right now, 100%, one day this week, my life is going to be flipped upside down, and I might not be able to get all of my work done on Wednesday because kids. But what matters is that when things go off plan, from this pandemic to my kids being home or life just happening, I can still manage my time, be productive, and be efficient with either 1 hour a day or 8 hours a day, because of these 6 things that I implement. So you guys ready to take notes? I have six best practices for all of you, and I promise to go nice and slow so that you can write them down. But number 1, the first thing that you need to be doing to be productive, and this is exactly what I do. I was sitting down before I was talking to Sandy, and I thought, I'm just going to brain dump everything that I do that has helped me over the past 5 years, and this is it. So number 1, set business hours. Setting business hours is everything. Going back to those 3 questions that I asked you and that I asked myself, what's my goal? What's my rank? What's my income? How many people do I want to help? There's a time frame and there's a time expectation with that. So set business hours. How much time I can commit to coaching is based off of my personal life, personal life, and my business goals. I fit business into my family. I fit it into my lifestyle. I set business hours because it gives me focus on the task at hand. It moves the needle forward in my business, from sharing my journey on social media to helping people join my challenge group and developing leaders on my team. If I did not have set business hours, I'm going to be honest, I'd be working all of the time. I'm obsessed with coaching. I love it so much. Oh my goodness. And I would be working all of the time, 24/7. And then I've caught myself where if I'm not working from a list, that I'll just sit there and scroll Facebook. I'll scroll Facebook, I'll scroll Instagram, and I'm like, where did the last 3 hours go? So setting business hours just gives you a point to work from, and you know, this is my framework, and this is where I'm going to get everything done. A couple examples for you for setting business hours. There are 2 things that I do in setting my business hours that help me have not just focus, but be efficient in my time. It's something that I like to call, and my team calls it this as well, is I win my mornings. Now, I'm not saying that you have to wake up at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. That's not what I'm saying. Is that my morning is focused on the things that move my business forward. And I'm going to go through those things that I do in my morning as well. I had to ask myself, when I started coaching with 3 little kids, and now my kids are school aged in their home, I had to ask myself, what can I control in my day? What can I control? Just like Carl said, control the controllable. What can you control in your time? My time was my morning routine. Once my kids are up, especially right now, when my kids get up at 8 a.m., I have no idea what's going to happen from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I can control 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's the time that I can control. And building a morning routine, what it's done for me is that it's given me daily momentum and confidence in my business that no matter what happens in life, I can continue to help and serve others and build a business and bless our family through the income we earn by honoring my morning time. Maybe for some of you, you have to win your evening. Whatever that looks like, find time that you can control and use that time for your business. I heard a quote by Danielle Natoni when I was in the 80-day obsession test group, and it was discipline equals freedom. I have held on to that quote since July of 2017. And that quote, discipline equals freedom, is what has fueled me to not hit snooze in the morning, to get up, to honor my business before my family's awake. And it's given me so much empowerment to know that I'm in control of my business hours. Now, another thing that I have done with my business hours is I have set boundaries. And this could be a whole different topic, but we're focusing on it for business hours. And actually, my husband implemented this with our family, is boundaries. I don't know about you, but I find myself working at all different places during my business hours. So in the morning, I'll be working at the kitchen table, or I'll be working outside by the pool, or I'll be working, on the couch. And I'm working in multiple different places. Where my husband is super focused. He sits at his desk in our office and he is there for his 8 hours, and it's like clockwork. He's great at it. Where I'm totally different. I need to move around the house. I need different scenery. But what that has done in our family is it's actually created friction. Our kids are very aware of what's going on. Even for my husband, even if it's just my husband and I during the day, he'll talk to me when I'm in the kitchen. With my kids, I'm on my phone. Sandy and I were talking about this with her daughter as well. But when I'm on my phone in the living room, it tells my kids that I'm available for them. It says, hey, mom's here. She can help me with schoolwork. She can help me with X, Y, and Z. When they come over to me and they say, hey, mom, I'm like, no. Don't interrupt me, kids. I'm working right now. They don't understand that I'm working. It creates friction in the work, and it also creates friction in our family. So my husband made up this rule where we have safe zones for our business hours. Our safe zones are either the office, where I'm at right now, or our bedroom. If we're in either two of those places, our kids cannot interrupt us unless it's an emergency. But if we're in our living zone, it's all game. We're not working. Our kids can ask us questions. We are present for them. And that's really helped us to draw lines, again, create safe zones with our business hours that allows us to be efficient when we're not with our family, but then to be present with our family when we are with them. Number 2 is make a schedule. Now that you have set your business hours, whether you can work 1 hour a day, 8 hours a day, 4 hours a day, whatever that looks like, it's important to make a schedule. I make a schedule all of the time. I'm obsessed with scheduling things out. It gives me just calmness that I know that I can get things done. I get a calendar that has the month, the weeks, the days, down to like the hour by hour. I'm going to show you something that I use. And it just allows me to schedule in my commitments for coaching regarding the time frame. I even schedule in my workouts, my family time, date night, social life. Everything goes onto that schedule so that I can honor my priorities both personally and professionally. Every Sunday, I sit down on Sundays and I look over my schedule and I figure out what needs to go on that week. So April, this is the first week. We have 10 rounds. We have the opportunity call. I'm going to write all of that stuff down on my schedule so that I know that I can show up and I can framework that to, be a priority to me. National Wake Up Call, it's a priority. Hence why my kids are not streamlining or streaming anything so it doesn't mess up the Wi-Fi. I scheduled that in with my family so that this is a priority. I even map out my social media posts. So Monday through Friday is when I always show up on social media. So I know Monday, maybe I'm going to talk about this. Tuesday, I'm going to talk about this. Wednesday, I'm going to talk about this topic. Again, it gives me purpose in my posting in regards to my schedule and what's going on. And then every evening I assess. Every evening I assess my day. And the way I do this is it's super simple. Is in my morning routine when I'm doing my personal development and I'm journaling, I write down my 4 top things that I want to get done for the day. Top 4 things I want to get done for the day. And then every single evening when I sit down to look at my schedule for the following day, I ask myself, did I do those 4 things? For example, did I adhere to my schedule? Did I bring the joy? Did I bring the joy? Did I invite? And did I have quality time with my family? I can look at my schedule and say, you know what, I didn't. Why didn't I not get those done? Maybe I spent too much time in my inbox, or maybe I spent too much time scrolling Facebook. It just allows you to evaluate your day and ask, where can I make adjustments or where can I make improvements in my schedule? Now, I'm going to screen share this with you really quick. So not only do I make a schedule, but I break my day down into hours and I do time blocking activities. And this is a great little tracker. It is completely free. But let me go ahead and share the screen with you. I'm going to blow this up so you can see it. Share the screen. Here it is. Okay. So this is a great way for you to schedule out your day hour by hour. And right now with everything going on, sometimes it's hard to even plan a month in advance. It's hard. Or even next week, it's hard for me to plan if my kids have new projects for school, or, if something just happens, I know I can change my schedule based off of my hourly day. So this is by Emily Lee. It's a printable daily planner. You can actually go to her website and just print it off completely for free, which I love. And this is what I do every single night or in the morning. It's just either or, whatever works best for you. And I schedule out my day based off of hours and even 30-minute increments. So for example, today is Monday, April 16th. Was up at 5 a.m. I did my inbox. I did inbox work and personal development. I shared little stories. I invited. I had my energize and I did my workout. Then moved to 11, national wake up call. Here we are. And then I go back to my other chunk of work time, 1 to 3. And then this evening is my team training. And then I have some to-do things that I need to get done if I have extra time. So this is how I map out my day. But not only do I map out my day, but I set timers for everything. And this really allows me to be efficient in getting things done in a timely order. So at 5 a.m., when I wake up, I set a timer on my watch or my phone that is for 50 minutes. I do 50-minute increments and I'll do 50 minutes of inbox work. Once that 50-minute timer goes up, I switch. I go to my 6 a.m., which is another 30 minutes of inbox. And then I do my personal development for another 30 minutes. And I just go down my list for that day. Again, life is going to happen. Let me stop sharing this really quick. Last Monday, for example, it was just crazy in our house. And my entire list was just didn't happen. I was able to wake up in the morning. I did my 5 to 8 time frame for coaching, but everything else was devoted to my kids. The entire day was me helping my children with their school. So what did I do? Because I am committed to 5 days a week of coaching, I made up what I missed on Saturday, just so that I can honor my priorities with coaching. Okay, so let's get back on track. Is I time block my daily activities and I set timers. Now, number 3 is I work from a list. Oh my goodness, working from a list is everything. You can see that even time blocking my activities is a list that I can follow. But this list in particular is called a tracker, the business activity tracker from Beachbody. If you are a new coach and you haven't seen this, I'm just gonna let you see it really quick so that it jogs your memory. But here it is. This is the Success Club System Tracker by Beachbody. This tells you exactly what you need to be doing in your hour a day, 1 hour a day. Now, what I do is if I have more than an hour, then I will just do these more. So if I'm supposed to be doing 20 minutes of initiating connections, maybe I'll do 40, maybe I'll do 60. As for inviting, maybe if I have an hour to invite, I'm going to invite way more than 5 people if I have an hour versus 15 minutes. So use this tracker, implement it. You can see it has everything from your tracker to Shakeology tracking. This is your list to work from, 1 hour a day. Working from a list, what it does is it helps me stay focused on the things that need to get done for that day. It's easy to think about what's going to happen next week or a month in advance. But my purpose is to focus on today and helping those people, helping my clients, helping my team, and connecting with new people. It's also a great tool to help me see areas of improvement. Using a tracker, again, helps me stay focused on one task at a time. It's quality, not quantity. I can 100% say that when I'm struggling in this business, or one of my coaches are struggling in this business, it's because I'm not using a tracker and they're not using a tracker. Again, Go ahead.
I'm jumping in here because I want to kind of move you along. You have three more things on your
I'll
list,
be quicker.
and it's I did want to mention something about the activity tracker because you're 5.5 years into the business and you're still using it. And where it says, invite 5 people, like you're at a level now where you invite a lot more. I don't want to freak people out that right away they have to invite 50 people, but it does build because if you have more time, you can invite more. Or if you notice that you don't hit your goals, you can invite more. So I do want to move you along to implementation only because it's the top of
I
the
know, right?
hour. So keep going, Ali. Thank you.
These last three are really quick, so we're good. And they're super simple. So number 4 is do your MITs first, also known as your most important tasks, your income producing activities. Also, I like to call them the vital behaviors. Beachbody has named them for us. And I do these every single morning. So when I talked about winning my morning, doing the things that help me move my business forward, it is the most important tasks. If I do nothing at all today, at least I've done these 3 things: invite, personal development, and get my workout done. And any single person that is a coach, whether a new coach or that's a vet coach, you can do these 3 things every day in 1 hour a day. Inviting, who am I inviting? I'm inviting every single person, clients, coaches, every person to this opportunity, because we have a solution. 2 is personal development. Personal development is everything in this business. Where your mind goes, your actions follow. And I want to consistently be feeding my thoughts with positivity. And with my personal development, I focus on where my struggle is. As for my workout, we are the product. The best coaches are the coaches who commit to their fitness, period, end of story. My business thrives when I'm committed to my fitness, when I'm doing a program from start to finish, when I'm sharing that program and my results on social media. Number 5 is eliminate the distractions. I have so many distractions in my life right now, so many distractions. And I know that most of you probably have a handful of distractions as well. But it's important to turn off notifications, turn on airplane mode, stop scrolling. Scrolling Facebook, Instagram, anything social media is a time stealer. It's also not positive right now. So cut it out of your life. Even Brendan Bouchard said at one of his conferences is that he schedules in his TV time. I don't watch TV Monday through Friday. I save the TV as like a privilege on the weekends when I get all of my workout done. And the final tip is cut the fluff. Focus on making an impact and serving others and reaching your goals, not blogs and graphics and videos. This is something that I see happen often with my new coaches and all of my coaches is they'll start blogging, they'll create newsletters, they create fancy graphics, they try to recreate the wheel. And I'm like, no, just share your journey, invite, do the tracker. That is what matters. You can save all of the other stuff when you've hit Success Club, when you've hit your goals. I started coaching, I was blogging, I stopped blogging. Now to this day, 5 years later, I still don't make graphics for my team calls because it takes up too much of my time. Again, I focus on the vital behaviors that help me move this business forward, whether that's 1 hour a day or 4 hours a day. I focus on the things that allow me to grow my business first and foremost. So in closing, after all of those 6 best practices, we have such an incredible gift, such an incredible gift. We have an opportunity that allows us to help others and build a business from home, from our kitchen table, from our living room. And when I signed up to be a coach, it became my responsibility to help serve and impact as many lives as possible and to give them hope and strength. But to maximize my potential as a mom of 3 working from home, I had to create a plan of action for my coaching business so that it would allow me to be efficient, but most importantly, be consistent in doing the things that matter most. There you go, Sandy.
Wow. I told you to hurry up and you did it all in 1 minute. Thank you very, very much. You know what? 5.5 years you've been into the business, and I know that there have been a lot of rewarding things that have happened to you and for you. Why don't you close out your call today with what has coaching meant to you all these years?
Oh my goodness. Well, I always get emotional in this, but I'm not today. I'm good. Coaching has surpassed every expectation that I ever had. I thought becoming a coach was just going to be some hobby that I did from home until my kids were in school, but it wasn't. It blessed me with the ability to work from home with my kids. When my kids were in school, my husband and I, we walked them into school every day together. I pick them up from school every day. I can attend every field trip. I can pick them up from school when they're sick. And now I can homeschool them when, they're home with me now. And I couldn't imagine it any other way. Yes, coaching has, oh my goodness, it has blessed our family in so many ways financially. But that's not why I became a coach 7 years ago. I became a coach because I remember sitting at a table full of women, and I was sitting at this table full of women 7 years ago, and I was sharing my struggles of postpartum anxiety, and I shared my passion for health and fitness, and I was judged. I was made fun of. I was ridiculed. I was told not to become obsessed with health and fitness. I was made fun of for eating healthy. And it was in that moment, that was before coaching, it was in that moment that I was like, I have to create a community. I have to create a sisterhood of unconditional love and support where people can be accepted, flaws and all. They can be accepted for their imperfections. They can be accepted for their struggles and be cheered on, empowered, and supported to become their best through whatever that is, whether that's fitness, nutrition, emotional growth, whatever that was. That's what I wanted to provide for a community because I didn't have that. Coaching gave me that ability. It gave me the platform to help women, to help people all across the world, not just again with fitness and nutrition, but with a community. And for that, I am forever, forever grateful.
I think that people don't understand when they come here what they can become. And you were just trying to feel better when you started. And now you are a speaker to women who need your help. And so the evolution of what coaching has done for you has been quite fulfilling, I can imagine.
It's been, yeah, life changing.
You're the best, Ali. Thank you. You
Thank
know what
you.
you did today? You gave kind of a coaching 101, because really you focus on what matters most. And that means the vitals and staying consistent and having a system. So I really appreciate, I know I always call you last minute to do this topic, but you are a queen. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much,
All
Sandy.
right. So, last but not least, everybody, I'm going to leave you. I started the call saying that I had lost my way at the beginning of this stay at home, work from home thing. You just kind of get all these distractions. You got to have a system. Ali has a system. You don't have to have the same system, but be consistent with your system. That's it, everybody. That's it for today. Go ahead and go have some 10 rounds. Okay. Have a great week, everybody. See you next week. Bye bye.